Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to December 9th meeting of Glendale Housing Authority. May we have a roll call for the authority, please?
Authority members Draymond.
Here.
Mincy.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Farazian.
Here.
Quintero.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Chairman Yusefian.
Here. May we have your report, please?
The agenda for the December 9, 2008 regular meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, December 4, 2008 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
So moved.
Second. The minutes will be approved as submitted. What's next, please?
At 5 is oral communication. Discussion is limited to items not a part of this agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Members of the Housing Authority may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. The matter may be referred to staff or the Executive Director for investigation and report.
I have one card. Herbert Milano.
Good afternoon, members of the Housing Authority. My name is Herbert Milano, and city staff. I want to address again the issue of the quality of life indicators. I've taken an interest in this for quite a long time and decided to take a look at what other cities are doing. And oftentimes I see as part of the mission statement of the city is to improve the quality of life of its residents. It's like the primary statement made as the reason for being. And so it always takes me as a surprise that we go so many years without actually measuring the things that that the residents would value or that you yourselves would value as the key measures for performance. One of those measures of performance that I read in one of these reports is the actual cost of living within the city. I want to refer to the cost of the utility rates for Glendale Water and Power. I was looking at the city of Irvine's utility rates, and they have a private, I think it's Edison, Southern California Edison, and they have a franchise tax of about 1.5% over the gross. And that's primarily the sufficient and only charge that they are receiving. So we have a utility users tax, and on top of that, we have a significant amount of those proceeds that eventually move into the general fund as transfers. In other words, about 10% of the gross, 9 to 10%, is a tax. No matter how you look at it, you still have the utility users tax, and you have this other tax, which are the proceeds that are not used to necessarily maintain the utility, but rather are moved over to the general fund. And it is one of the reasons why this particular tax, has been challenged, and challenged successfully against the city of Los Angeles. But one of the things that my tenants tell me, and they often stop and say, Mr. Herbert, can I talk to you? I want to show you my electric bill, thinking that somehow I'm the cause of the problem. The apartments are well insulated, they're fairly new, but nonetheless, they were asking for additional assistance to see if they could reduce their costs. And I told them that they could get an evaluation from the Glendale Water and Power. But you're talking about a one-bedroom apartment, 2 persons living in it, and almost a $200 bill, every 2 months. I mean, that's a significant chunk of change for some of these people, during this time. And I think that impacts the quality of life. So knowing how much we pay for utilities, whether water or electricity, should be one of the measures that we should, adopt and accept as a regular yearly measure. Now, this evening, you're going to be, approving the CAFR and their statistical reports in the back. But somehow I felt that you need a way of continually receiving a gauge of how much is it costing the Glendale resident to live in Glendale, and especially how much is it costing some of them in terms of as a percentage of their income according to the area in which they live. So that's the whole idea about looking for these indicators, to try to get a gauge as to what individuals are feeling. Another indicator with regard to the cost of utilities would be the number of individuals that every month are late on their payments, and you get a monthly report from GWP. The number of service interruptions due to non-payment, which would be another indicator. And I think that those indicators, if we get it once a year, it's a little bit slow. I think that we should get it probably once a quarter and evaluate what policies you need to change, or if maybe the funding needed with regard to the public service funds should be changed or increased. So I don't see how you could perform effectively without continually receiving these quality of life indicators so that you can determine how the budget will move, what changes to the budget you'll need to do on a quarterly basis, and what other issues you need to address as a matter of policy. I would like to encourage you to visit the website, and log in. And if you don't remember how, I can send you an email on how to do that. But I think it will be important for the committee members to get an input from you as to what you might feel, maybe 10 indicators on a particular topic that you feel are important measures. I've been talking to Lieutenant Montecuolo with regard to getting police department statistics, and I gave him a suggestion that we should compile all the statistics about youth in one place so that you can get an assessment of whether or not there are policy needs with regard to after-school programs and youth services. So I'm encouraging you again to hopefully participate so that we can get some excitement behind these committees. Thank you.
Thank you. That was my last card. What's next, please?
At 6A is City Attorney regarding cancellation of Housing Authority meetings for December 23 and 30, 2008, and the rescheduling of the January 6, 2009 meeting. At 6A1 is motion canceling the December 23 and 30, 2008 meetings, and at 6A2 is motion rescheduling meeting date of January 6, 2009 to a special meeting on January 7, 2009.
I'll move 6A1 and 2.
Second. Roll call.
Authority members Draymond,
Yes.
Mincy,
Yes.
Najarian,
Yes.
Parazian,
Yes.
Quintero,
Yes.
Weaver,
Aye.
Chairman Yusefian.
Aye. I guess this is our authorities present to the staff. So you don't have to deal with us for at least 3 weeks. Is there any authority and staff comments? We adjourn. We're adjourned.